I'm guessing from the title of this video, you're a little disappointed to come here and simply see another wooden frame like any other target frame, maybe a little wider. But I've added a few little innovations that I think set this apart. The first thing is these eye screws. I don't know if you can see them very well, but I put some eye hooks in here. And well, let's first talk about the frame. Two 1x3s. This is 30, 30, 30, 30, and that leaves 36 left over from an 8-foot board. So two 18s, and then these little spacers I just took from scrap. And then of course you can see here 3-inch by 1/4-inch screws, bolts actually, big fender washers, wing nuts. And I do have lock washers, I just don't have them on now. So when we were younger, we would go out shooting and we'd take two Y-shaped sticks and put a board across them, and then we would tie cans so that the cans just touched the ground when you would shoot. So that's what we have here. Get this in the hole here. So one way is to simply tie the can up and shoot it. And of course it'll keep moving around, and you know, that might be a challenge trying to hit a moving target. But if you tie it up so that it's just touching this lower frame, it will hit the frame and it'll settle pretty quickly. And so you can just keep shooting these targets over and over again until you've completely shredded the can. If you want a can that's going to last a little longer, a common soup can, drill a little hole in it. So the first innovation I've come up with is clothespins with nails in them. You notice that, whoops, this one is moved. You want the nail to go through the other clothespin, and that will help hold the targets on, as you'll see in a couple seconds here. Where's my other one? Oh, there it is. So another thing you can do, this is a wire coat hanger I bent straight, bent a T into the end. Stick that through here. Each of these blue lines represents a hole that's been drilled through. So we take the nail clothespins, and the nails will puncture the target and help hold it in place. That's going to come in even more handy in a couple seconds here. And so we put these on here, run the coat hanger across, and I think you can see where this is going. You can go online, and there are several places where you can print out targets. Just go to Google Images and search free rifle targets. And these are just photocopies of targets that were in the back of my rifle manual. So we put the targets up. If you want to keep these from walking into the center, you can just take a little piece of string and tie this up right here. Hold it a little more level. If the targets are blowing in the wind, I'm going to add a little weight to them. and they'll be a little more stable. So, you know, these are nice professional targets. Target, caliber, date, you can put all kinds of information on them. So the next thing is, pull this out, and you know, if you want your targets a little lower to the ground, you just use one of these lower holes. And I only use 2 clothespins, but you can use as many as you want. So what you do here is you take a pop can and you hang it by the tab here. You know, the nail in the clothespin goes through the tab and holds it in place. Or you can use a tin can. I punched a little hole in it there, you can see. And you can clip that on there. And I'm just got to make sure it goes in the hole of the other clothespin, which, there we go. So now you can set 2, 3, 4 of these on, and again you can tie this up to keep them from walking to the center. But the clothespin is going to hold, with the nail, is going to hold that pretty tight. So you can shoot those, they'll spin around. Whoops. I think my clothespin is backed out a little bit. There we go. Make sure it goes in. So you can shoot these, and they'll settle back pretty quickly, and you can pretty much shoot them till they're shredded. So, okay, and so we have multiple ways you can put targets on here. You can hang them. You can hang them so they rest down on here, and so they'll settle back into place. You can move your targets down farther if you want, or you can put the rod through and you can make these tin can spinner targets. And you can just use it like a normal frame. You know, I've got some cardboard here. Just cut this down into 4 pieces. Cut it here, cut it into 4 pieces. Nail it up, put your targets on there, and you can shoot through the cardboard. This is just a box from Home Depot. They don't cost very much. So, yes, this is just a simple wooden stand, like all the other wooden stands you've seen out there, but it has a few ways that it can be used. And the whole thing, all the nuts and bolts and screws and everything, probably didn't even cost me $10. So, you know, for $10 you get a pretty versatile frame. You notice it's a low frame. If you wanted to build this up on a stand, you know, higher, about the height it is now, that would work out, but you got to have a nice berm behind you. Around here we're in farm country, so there aren't a lot of places where you can shoot. So having the targets down lower on the ground kind of ensures you're going to hit the ground behind the target before the bullet has gone too far. So that's my fancy target frame. It cost me less than $10. Let me see if I'm still in the frame. Yeah, okay, I think I'm good. And $10 you get a multifunction reactive target. That's not bad.